Hola, this is Barcelona, a Spanish jewel on the Mediterranean coast and home to the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. It's day 3 of the Preliminary Regatta, and for some teams a final chance to push for a potential final spot. The standout on day 2 was the flexing of tactical muscle by the likes of Emirates Team New Zealand and Louis Vuitton Preliminary in the start box. Both teams demonstrating dominance where it matters most. So after day 2, Emirates Team New Zealand are in pole position with a spotless record, but hard on their heels are Louis and Patriot. The Swiss are running on a 50% record, while Britannia and Orient Express Racing are both winless. Let's head to the water for the first of 4 races. It's Britannia against Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Working up now, playing flat learn. All the way back. 55, yeah. Tango, looking to jump from here.
This is really the critical part of the pre-start here.
45, go forward down. Let's do it. Forward moving. My wheel? Right, your wheel, mate. Slow down.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing needing to get the pace on here as quickly as they can.
My wheel, 13 to the pin. 20 on the line. 17, 18.
Beautifully executed, but it is the positioning just underneath.
Yeah, Britannia here will be looking to close the gauge as much as they possibly can up to windward and try and lock Alinghi out there, but I think both boats looking like it's time on the distance from here.
Yeah, looks slightly early, a little bit of pace to lose.
Both boats should get off fairly evenly here, Shirley.
10 seconds to go to start of race 9. Britannia, Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Close to the line, they look like they're going to get it bang on, and we are a go.
Breathe it slightly in the right. Can get past it in 10 seconds. They might try and hold for that. No, we're good here. Just sailing in normal numbers, but never too fast. That's what we're doing here.
If Alinghi can really hold this position, they're in good shape. We've seen the teams wanting to protect that right-hand side. They look like they're slowly being sucked in, though, Glenn.
Yeah, really, really close race here. They just have to hold Alinghi Red Bull Racing. If they can hold all the way to the boundary, they will put the British on the back foot here. Both boats should tack simultaneously here.
On the mode here, 27. Mode. Okay, quite strong. Take some connect.
Alinghi holding up high, really trying to make it hard for the British team.
Yep, they will have practiced this mode many, many times. The British really have to survive up to windward here. This will be a real drag race. It'll be the really first time these two teams have been in such close quarters, so we'll get a real indication of how close the boats are being sailed here.
25 knots. 24. That's top of 23. They have to tack out. Board down, board down, board down.
Alinghi really, really slowing them up here. Ineos deciding to tack away there before they come off the foils. Alinghi will now re-accelerate, and we have got an absolute cracking race on our hands.
Onto the water, chase 0. Cracking start, Pete.
Yeah, good start and very even off the line. And Alinghi did a good job getting Ineos all the way across to this left-hand side. Then after the tack, Alinghi just put the squeeze on and both boats were decelerating. Ben Ainsley decided to tack away, Alinghi extending. The next cross will be crucial.
Watch it go, turn up. Yeah, coming up. Okay, gotcha. Okay, your wheel. All the way, 20 seconds. Be good to the right of him here. Happy to go. Yeah, coming up. Okay,
Interesting how they swap helms as well. We hear in the comms Ben Ainsley, who was on starboard, taking control just to accurately nail that cross.
Coming into the top gate for the first time. How tight's this going to be? Hold your breath for just a moment. Who gets the advantage going in? Britannia around the top mark for the first time. closely followed by Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Okay, travellers coming. Let's go, boys. My trap. Go, trap.
Happy to go from here. Okay, 2, 1, roll down.
Down to chase 0. Pete evenly matched these two boats.
Yeah, I was impressed at the top mark, though, the way Ineos engineered that last third to create a pass right at the top mark, and then they matched. So they got in phased immediately with Alinghi. Gave away a little bit to do that late tack, but it just means now that they can push forward in that bow position, and we know that Ineos looks pretty pacey on the downwind legs.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah, looking at some really nice numbers here, the VMG of the yachts. That's basically the velocity made good to the bottom mark. So they're basically heading directly to those marks at about 36 knots.
They'll complete leg number 2, race 9 of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta, and it will be the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia, into the gate for the first time and around that left-hand mark.
Okay, my trap. Go, trap.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing really needing to sail cleanly here to get back in the game.
I think the encouraging thing here today is what we've been wanting to see since the start of this regatta. Pace from Ineos and seeing that they've really worked this boat to its potential.
We've seen changes in modes as well, Glenn, you know, as the pressure's gone up and down. Pretty versatile what they can do with these machines.
Absolutely, the moding of these boats is just super critical. The gains in just putting the bow down a couple of degrees, you know, in some more pressure, you can gain 4, 5, 6 knots of boat speed. So against your opponent, you're using those modes as accurately as you can to really get the best out of you know, your tactical positioning.
Happy with that? Yeah. Looking it off this.
Okay, 25 to 10.
Taking a little bit of height for the turn. Copy that.
Coming into the halfway mark of race number 9, about to complete leg number 3 of 6, and it will be the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia, looking good, and they'll be very happy about this. This game is also about one of confidence, and around they go.
Hit it, boys. 100, 120. Good shot. Last rounding here, boys.
Ineos Britannia are having a good day on Saturday here in Barcelona. They will tick over win number 1 in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. It'll be a point, but there'll be more to celebrate. They have been slick today, and they've still got a race to come.
Yeah, we're going all right downwind, and you know, it's tricky conditions with the breeze on the build like this, and again, seeing some differences in some of the team's sail configurations. Yeah, we were on our smaller main, and I think Alinghi changed to a bigger main. So plenty going on out here.
So Ineos Britannia relinquish their place at the bottom of the leaderboard and pick up their first point of the regatta. That will be a huge relief for Sir Ben Ainslie and his team. Up next, it's American Magic against France's Orient Express Racing. And there are your men guiding these AC75s about Tom Slingsby, Paul Goodison, left to right at the top. And then you've got Quentin Delapierre and Kevin Pepinay on Orient Express Racing. Fun fact of the day, we're 7 weeks to the day to the start of the match. October 12, 2024, as we try and find a challenger.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is complete, and this race is live.
They'll be needing a solid day today, the French team, and we're all really hoping that they can have that coming in towards the entry now.
One lane, okay, we're all clear here. Good angle, no lower. Sorry, this is my wheel. Okay, we're going away in 2, 1, all clear.
American Magic just about perfect with their time on distance in from port and in come Orient Express Racing. They will be quite a bit late.
Yeah, just on time there. The French just a little further away from the line, so a little bit late close to the pin, but sailing the boat nicely here, so really hoping that they can engage. American Magic off the foils there. This will be not what they're looking for here, Shirley, in the pre-start here. That's not ideal for them.
Well, maybe we'll see what happened there, but
Yeah, we're all good.
Almost looked like they lost the rudder of the boat in the manoeuvre there. Tom Slingsby standing up there to sort of try and get the boat going again.
Half-board here.
Just behind us, directly behind.
Yeah, we're going to jibe over here, guys.
oh,
Rudder's gone.
the rudder stalled.
Right.
Oh, they've got an issue there, saying something's wrong with the rudder, potentially.
Yep, take up on whichever board you know. Take it. Pick up on whichever board you'd like, I'm not sure.
Big problems in the start box for American Magic in race 10.
Opening the door here for the French to
But I do not see actually.
get off the line cleanly.
Try and get going here.
Orient Express, just keep it simple. We all want to see them complete a race.
Yep, don't OCS, sail the boat well, get it off the line, press on the jib and get it round the track.
Big goal, Michael.
Doing a nice job getting the boat dialed in there. 29 seconds to go for the French to start. So time on distance for them. Big problems for American Magic there.
Yeah, there's no head action, so I think we're... Yeah, it looks wrong on the diagram too. I think we're wrong. I think we're off.
10 seconds to go. Orient Express Racing. Look like they've got their time on distance well sorted. They weren't pushed at all in the start box by American Magic, who have big problems. And away go Orient Express Racing in race number 10.
Race committee. Team USA. We withdrawing.
Race committee copies. Thanks, USA.
This is the umpires. USA has retired. The race is stopped and awarded to France.
Wow, that's all you can say about this one. When you heard, I think it was maybe Tom Slingsby saying the rudder's gone.
Yeah, that's not the words that you want to hear anywhere within the American Magic team at all. And I'm sure they'll get on top of that fairly quickly, but that has completely ruined the race for them. But fantastic to see the French out there now, just, you know, sailing around the track, and their boat obviously performing well. Just watching a replay here of the American Magic boat just trying to get going again, and clearly a rudder malfunction there, and such a shame, surely, with what we've seen with how solid the team has been up to this point.
I mean, this could actually develop into quite a big deal. They need to declare the kit they're going to use for future racing when we get into the round robins, and they have a time limit on when they can say that. I mean, this is quite a stressful moment for Terry Hutchinson and his band of men.
So American Magic is forced to withdraw due to a rudder malfunction, gifting France's Orient Express Racing an easy point.
We lost rudder control in the entry there as we started to circle, and we still had a little bit of steering but didn't have any rate management, which is why the boat dropped out of the sky and made it difficult for us.
Coming up, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Ineos Britannia head to the start box, and then it's the defender, Emirates Team New Zealand against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. That's after the break. In exactly 7 weeks, Emirates Team New Zealand will be forced to defend the America's Cup. Will it be against the Brits, the Americans, Italy, Switzerland or France? Who knows? Every team is hoping this will be their year. Let's head to the start box as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli prepares to take on Ineos Britannia. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli look like their time on distance is bang on, steaming in at around 35 knots. And then they come onto the start box, not too far away. Here comes Ineos Britannia. Allowed to enter in 2 minutes. They'll be just a little bit behind that, but
up now. Pale now, killing 122.
The object of the game here,
to
put your opponent on the back foot off the start line.
Okay, killing a minute.
This is the umpires. Early entry penalty, GBR. Early entry penalty, GBR.
Oh, that is a big penalty there for the British. They must have entered the entry zone early. They will have a penalty, but they will be trying to wash that penalty off as quick as they can. Hearing from umpire Richard Slater there. Disaster for Ineos.
We are a pass ley line committee. One more of those, and we are coming up the number. To leeward is fine, I think.
Are you here? What's coming up?
We are 9 to kill pin.
Hey, ready for a little high mode here?
Killing 7.
Okay, high mode now. Trim up, boys.
We are racing pin. We are racing pin.
Inside the last 30 seconds to the start of race 11. Penalty. Entering early for Ineos Britannia.
Actually, this is a good position.
Little chip on, guys. Just a quick.
Obviously, yes.
Not in a rush. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way. Hold 2, 1, gun.
All in.
We are a go in race 11. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, Ineos Britannia.
Low mode here, going low. Let's try to base penalty with a low mode, okay? So keep the speed here.
45 seconds, still got
I think hammering on the next stack is going to be our game.
So the British with a penalty for entering early. They have to lose basically 75 metres relative to Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli here.
This is the umpires, GBR boundary penalty, GBR boundary penalty.
A couple of unforced errors there for the British.
Come low here. You've got a band, that's good. You've got 10 seconds to burn it. Hey, flat to leeward here. No, you haven't.
Penalty clear, penalty clear.
Go. Nice. Big push, lads. Smash it. There we go.
Lefty phase, so I'm going to go straight.
Just over the entry line there early by the smallest of margins there. The British pushing super hard. You just don't need to quite push that hard on entry, so a bit of an unforced error there. They'll be disappointed with that, followed up by a boundary penalty. So you're not going to win races with those unforced errors, unfortunately.
Nice numbers, guys.
Just having a look at their second penalty from the British here, Shirley, and as the boat's coming into the boundary there, and again just pushing it hard, and crikey's just over it. I mean, it's like tennis. The ball's either in or out, and you know, they've been out both times, so double fault.
Really nice flat down. Oh yeah, so nice gains back here.
Actually, he's pulsing a lot, okay, guys?
Good job, so we match, boys. That's quite a big lefty.
Copy.
Ineos have done really well on this run. They've taken 50 metres out of the Italians.
I was a little late. Past the ley line, boys.
Just give me one round up.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta will come across the line and bank win number 3 and give them 3 points to equal Emirates Team New Zealand, who are up next against Alinghi Red Bull Racing, but they'll be feeling good about that.
We were not sure about which jib to put up. Luckily, one of our coaches, Hamish nailed the call, and we sailed with a little bigger jib. We all thought he was wrong, but he was right. The wind was dropping, and it was very good to have that jib up.
Time for the 4th and final race of the day. It's Emirates Team New Zealand against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they're allowed to enter at 2 minutes. They will not be getting an early entry penalty here. They'll come in a little bit late, but they'll come steaming in. Time to get it on again.
Tidy entries from both teams.
Good job.
Liner conditions so important, just to keep the pace on, keep the boat on the foils.
Really, really important to keep the boat on the foils in these conditions. A little lighter than yesterday's racing, so a lot of pressure on the teams.
They're letting it down. 40. 20. 4 red pistol. Midway down. 28. On. Down. 20. Jump.
They're right in the corner, the final turn as they head towards the start line.
Alinghi really have to make sure they accelerate here. Emirates Team New Zealand getting close to getting them hooked. Just keeping clear there, Alinghi. Pressure still well and truly on Emirates Team New Zealand, pushing them hard.
And Rosar Fagot's doing well there just to keep clear, not to engage.
Another little charge if you want.
It looks slightly early, both teams.
Really slow, guys.
10 seconds to the start line. A split started race number 12. Game on between Alinghi Red Bull Racing and Emirates Team New Zealand.
Emirates Team New Zealand were slow, weren't they, in that last 20 seconds? Forced off to the right-hand side.
First split tack start we've seen here. I think this intersection looks like it's advantaged Emirates Team New Zealand, but a very good start by Alinghi. But New Zealand look to have good pace and good angle coming over from the right.
Close cross here.
We can stay if you want. No, we cannot stay.
Absolutely perfect place to tack there from Emirates Team New Zealand, forcing Alinghi Red Bull Racing to actually have to tack away and clear their air. There was no way, surely, they were going to live there off the hip of Emirates Team New Zealand, so that they bailed early to keep the game alive.
So it's only taken really half the first leg for Emirates Team New Zealand to start really putting pressure on Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Big losses in the tacks now. New Zealand went from 34 knots to 26. It's a big speed loss.
An 8-knot drop in speed, fairly typical in these conditions. You know, it is a big penalty though, every manoeuvre. You've got to re-accelerate. Emirates Team New Zealand just giving Alinghi Red Bull Racing no wiggle room to squirm out of there. They're just going to keep coming back and they'll just keep herding them over to the left-hand side of the course to then ultimately just make them sit in their gas on the long one back to the top mark. So the pain is yet to come.
5, 3, 2, 1, here we go. I think I'll follow. Just make the most of this shift.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shifting the axis to 180 and shortening the length to 1.3 nautical miles.
Just a little bit more pressure on these boats to keep them going, shortening that course, but this is the second to last leg of this race. Emirates Team New Zealand well ahead of Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and they're still honking up at around 30 knots. So it's still biggest belief that the technology to get these 7-ton monsters and low wind speeds just doing what they're doing. So on a day when the wind has just tailed off at the end of it, Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup, have done pretty much a job, a flawless job on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They will go into Sunday with a perfect record. They are 4 from 4.
On the cruise.
If it was confidence they were after, Emirates Team New Zealand got it in spades, beating Alinghi Red Bull Racing by over a kilometre.
We really wanted the ride, and then when they jumped us that early, we thought we'd take on the split. Haven't seen one yet this event, so yeah, it's good to get one under our belt, and seemed to work out all right.
So let's take a look at the leaderboard. Emirates Team New Zealand are on top, followed by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Then it's American Magic, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Ineos Britannia and Orient Express Racing. After 3 days of racing in anger, gear failure and unforced errors are turning hope into heartache and proving costly for some teams. But there's plenty more racing and action to come. We'll be back tomorrow with the fourth and final day of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta.